It's the political brown kid here, and I just wanted to kind of talk about this one particular thing. I remember Dr. Umar Johnson kind of talking about, I think, the decline in the black population on the census. I do believe, I don't know which it was, and he attributed that to how people have been identifying themselves. And this is kind of what I want to talk about because it is a very true point. When you look at black people, and that's what I'm focused on. My channel is really kind of directed in that gear, so that shouldn't be a surprise. But when you look at black people, I can understand and see how that could happen because now they're allowing individuals, and this is your American government, they're allowing individuals to be whoever they want to be, whatever they want to be. And what I mean by that is this: they're allowing, and even in certain states, they're allowing people to switch their gender, and not only just switch their gender, but they're allowing them to go back to their original birth certificate and switch out their gender of birth on their birth certificates. That's what some states are doing, or at least trying to pass a law to do. Go ahead and look that up. That's true, and I know you all know that I'm telling the truth on that. People just want to identify as everything. People want to identify as, I'm a man trapped in a woman's body. I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. And I'm this, I'm that. But now also, too, what you see that Americans have done, and particularly the Europeans, the Caucasians have done is they've told black people that you're no longer black. And so I just find it interesting that how throughout our history and interaction with white people, they've always dictated to black people what you are. And so what I mean by that is this: for you youngsters who don't know your history, I'm going to give you a little history lesson in this particular area. When black people came here, and even probably before that, they defined you as being black, African. Okay. Can go along with that. Then they started calling you the N-word. And they called you the N-word so much and traumatized you so much that that's what you thought you were. Then once slavery ended, then you move from the N-word to Negro. Then you move from Negro to colored around, I guess, I don't know, 40s, 50s, I have no idea. Then you went from colored to black. They also told you during the time of slavery, because once the slave owner started having offspring with the female slaves, they came up and told you that 1/8 drop of black blood makes you black. And that's what the standard was. And so all of those people identified as black because that's what the white man said, being the standard. And I'm going to be honest with you, we all know that black people have the more dominant gene. So if a black person and a white person produced a child together, that child would be black. But here's where I'm going with this. They set the defining terms. And then now all of a sudden, fast forward, because first they said that 1/16 or 1/8 drop of black blood made you black. But then something happened where I guess they started seeing all of these black children, diluted black, or these mulattoes walking around, these mongrels, because let's make it clear, every black person in America who has lineage in America is a mongrel. Every black person, including myself, we're all mongrels. That is just a fact. So all of these blacks that want to haul around, because you have a whole bunch of blacks that don't even want to identify as being black, but we'll get there. But what had happened was the white man started seeing all of these mongrels and started saying, they got the best of both worlds. They got the Negroid body. They got the Negroid behind, the Negroid lips. They got the Negroid features that we like. But yet they got the lighter skin and the softer hair that we like. So this is kind of a best of both worlds. So they started targeting and oogling and eyeing, particularly the white men, the black women, those particular black women. I told y'all can go look this up. I did a video before on that. It's an adult content channel. They specialize in humiliating and sodomizing black women. I tried to get them banned, but no one wants to ban that channel. I guess people love it so much. I have no idea. Y'all know what channel it is. It's called Ghetto. You know what? But they even said it on there You had the guys, they were like, these are the type of black girls that we like. We like the light-skinned black girls with the thin bodies. That's what the guys said in the video. And if you look at the white guys, when they're chasing women and you look at all of the movies and all of the stuff that they create, they chase the light-skinned black females with the thin bodies. That's why Halle Berry gets cast in all the roles. That's why Carmody Jogo gets cast in all the roles. That's why Tandy Newton gets cast in all the roles. And any other black females that you see get cast in those roles, she's either going to pass the brown paper bag test. So that means she doesn't necessarily have to be a red bone per se, but she passes the brown paper bag test and or she passes the comb test. She either so for example, Chili would pass the comb test. She may even pass the brown paper bag test. I don't know. But if you look at Chili from TLC, she passes the comb test. So these are the type of people that the white guys pursue. So they started saying, these women start looking good. But if you notice, and this is what a lot of people don't realize, is that people from Barack Obama's generation and before, and like Generation X and before, if they had a white parent, if they came from a type of household where they had a black and white parent, they identified as black. And in fact, to take it even a step further, they did not even like their white side of their family. They identified as black. They immersed themselves in the black culture. That's why a lot of white people were mad at Barack. I used to listen to conservative radio. They used to be mad at Barack when they read his book, and they were like, he had disdain for his white family. Yeah, he did. I even had an aunt in my family. She had disdain for her white family. But these people identified as black. But now what they did was they're trying to get those children to identify as being white. And you see poor Tay Diggs, he's a pathetic human being. Sorry to say it, but he is. He came out with this book and telling his kids, he's basically, I remember him going on one of the TV shows. I don't remember which TV show it was, but it was a talk show. And he was basically saying his kids identify as mixed because he doesn't want to hurt his white, he was married at the time. I think he's divorced. He didn't want to hurt his white wife's feelings. That's the whole thing. Black people are always so concerned about how white people feel. If you were concerned about her feeling rejected by her black kids, you should not have married a white woman. But we always want to make concessions for white people. Okay, the kid isn't black, the kid isn't white, the kid's mixed. Let's just call it mixed. And we always are the ones making concessions for white people in order to save their feelings or to help their feelings. We're always doing that. Martin Luther King was doing that. And that's why I kind of get on Martin Luther King. And I plan on doing my video on Martin Luther King. I really need to do that. That'll really piss y'all off. Y'all really gonna hate me then. But we're always trying to save the white man and worry about his well-being. When the fact of the matter is these kids are black. And just because you have the white, it doesn't mean that you don't love your white parent. It just means that, hey, your white parent, genetically, their genes aren't strong enough to have a white child with a black person. The only type of people you can kind of see doing that, because I can guarantee you there's going to be a million white people mad and trying to jump into my thread and my comments. They're going to try and bring up certain people like Meghan Markle and them. And that's why also these white people get with these light-skinned women, is because they know that they have a better chance too of diluting the blackness out of the child. But they're going to be surprised if they get a throwback baby. And y'all black people know what a throwback baby is. They'll be surprised at that. But those people like Prince Harry and them, and I would love to see the birth certificate on that child. I guarantee you that birth certificate says Caucasian on his kids. And then you see Halle Berry having a fight with her ex-husband. I remember when they first got divorced, and he was telling her that the kid isn't black. And then she want to come out with all these claims that he was a racist and this, that, and the third. But the bottom line is, what I'm trying to tell you is this. We've continually let white people dictate to us what we are. And then they want to pull out DNA tests to try to prove that. Then they want to use phenotypes they just assume that, you know, when they look at black features, they always say, well, black features are typically coarse hair with big noses. And that's not even true, because you can go to Ethiopia and see that that's not true. You can go to Somalia, see that's not true. You can go to Kenya and see that that's not true. Hell, I had friends directly from Nigeria. I want to say Nigeria. It was from one of those other countries. They don't have broad noses. That's the one beautiful thing about black people that's different from a lot of other races is our hair comes in various textures from very coarse to very fine. Because you can look at the Aborigines over in Australia. Our noses come from broad to thin, and our lips come from being very plump to being very subtle. We have diverse genes. We have a diverse gene pool because we birthed this planet. But they continually have white people that want to destroy the black community by trying to make these black kids deny their blackness and have them thrown in a other category. And so you see all of these people, these kids are confused. They're confused. These kids, and that's one thing I do agree with Dr. Umar Johnson on, because when these kids start claiming mixed, it's because they have a conflict within them. They don't want to hurt the black parent. They don't want to hurt the white parent. So they just throw themselves in this different category. And it's unfortunate. But once again, this is a product of the white man's effect on planet Earth. He dips his fingers into everybody's stuff, and he always trying to tell people what they are and what they aren't. Y'all probably didn't know this. They're trying to classify, at one point in time, they were trying to classify Asians as Caucasian. And I'm pretty sure, I do believe that they were trying to classify the Indians as Caucasian, even as brown as the Indians are. And the only reason why they're doing that is because the Indians kind of claim, and when I say Indians, I mean dots, not feathers. That's because they classify themselves as coming from the Caucasus Mountains, or they say that that was the region that they're from. So, of course, they're going to try to say that they're Caucasoids or Caucasian. And so notice what they do. They always try to take the elite groups on the planet Earth. They say, okay, well, your Asians are always your doctors and scientists and techies, and so are your Indians. They're the smart ones, so we lump them into our group, and they're with us. And then they just give us the rest of the people. They just say, no, African, in order to be black, you gotta have hair like a damn Brillo pad, and you gotta have a nose like a damn elephant, and then you're classified as being black. They always try to do this to us, and they always try to classify us. And I'm trying to tell you all, because I've seen a few people online, because I watch their channels, and there's a few females too. As a matter of fact, Cynthia G was one of them. She would always say that I heard her say this before, is that some people are not black because they don't have two black parents. Because one parent was white and one parent was black and the other one was not, they're not black. Stop discrediting your own race. Be welcoming. Make those people feel welcome. And that's why sometimes some light-skinned blacks don't really say, hey, I'm black. They don't say it with confidence. You know, you'll hear them kind of say, yeah, I'm black. But they're always trying to downplay their blackness because they feel as though they're not black enough. Stop that, y'all. If they're black, they're black. I don't care how light they are, they're black. And stop it. And if the other thing too that I've noticed that what white people have created in this society is anytime a black or a white person, and now I'm even seeing black people do this as well. So this goes both ways. But anytime a white person, and this goes to show you the ignorance of white people with the black race, anytime they saw somebody that was light skinned, they automatically assumed that one of the parents was white. I don't make this up. Anytime they see a black person that has green eyes or blue eyes, they assume that one of those parents is white. I have a friend, matter of fact, I have a friend, straight up and down, I know both of his parents because I grew up with him. He has two black parents, and he has blue eyes, blonde hair, and he's light skinned. Both his parents black. Well, they're light skinned black, but they're black. And I know his grandmother too, because he grew up in his grandmother's house, and that's where he was raised with his grandmother, but he lived with his other mother too, but he mostly spent time over here on my side of town. I know his parents, and I even knew his grandparents. So, but they automatically look and they automatically say, well, he's light skinned, he's got a real, so where are you from? Like, I see that question asked a lot, like, yeah, I see that you're this. What's your background? What's your ethnicity? They always want to ask that question just because somebody's light skinned. And now I'm starting to see like some younger kids, because the kids, particularly females, I've noticed this with females a lot. And I'm not coming down on females, but I think that we as men, particularly the rappers, have been creating dumb songs, male rappers, particularly Lil Wayne, particularly Jay-Z. They always used to talk about a red bone this. Yeah, she brown, but she looked better if she was red. They always drop this. People always want to talk about exotic looking females. What you see now is I've seen some younger kids from like Gen Z generation. They'll say, yeah, because I got a my so and so is white. I'm half white. I'm mixed. And I'm just kind of like, well, and I'm like, I know both your parents. Like literally, I'm talking about little kids that I know. And it's just kind of like, what? But everyone wants to be exotic or mixed. Is that this is the product that you have when you deal and you allow white people to just start meddling in other people's business. I'm going to end it here, but this is just my take on white people just dictating society and dictating to black people who's black and who's not. And then we following suit with the white man's standards. So if you have any comments or feedback on the video, drop them in the comment section. Also hit the like and subscribe button. This is the Political Brown Kid. I'm out of here.